Welcome to the Cosmic Unity Temple with our next episode. And today we are talking about spring. My name is Sabina. And this is
here.
Dorotka, my beautiful co-host.
Welcome.
So we're talking about spring. We started with winter. Now we're moving into spring. Imagine this, Mother Nature gives us an amazing opportunity and an amazing push and something that can kind of overlay onto our emotional field because, winter is a little slow and stagnant, not too much sun. Some people feel a little depressed, don't have so much energy, and then you got to learn how to get out of that cycle. So that's what spring brings. Winter and spring, that transition. Spring is supposed to help us get out of that cycle of feeling stagnant, and that cycle we need to work on it. So here we go. Welcome, spring.
Spring represents rebirth, renewal, transformation. The nature is waking up. I've done a few videos already about it, but I'm in Texas, so the wake up call here is a lot earlier than up and north. So we already have spring flowers, a lot of wild garlic blooming already. Beautiful leaves coming out on the trees. And here we are. We're waking up with the spring, feel a lot more energy. Time for unwinding from the sleepy time, and it's time for action. It's time for growth, and it's time to put our visions into reality, start our projects.
Mm-hmm.
And I can definitely tell that this is going to be very busy year. The beginning of the year.
I got goosebumps. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's time to bloom, people. It's time to bloom.
Yes, totally.
And move, if there's something that didn't work. So during the winter, we had time to think about things that worked, that didn't work, letting go, detaching. That's what we do in winter. And now spring comes, we have a clean slate. We're starting from the new, like we were talking last time, new roots, new growth, new ideas, new things. We gotta move forward. Spring is about moving forward, adaptation, adapt, be flexible.
Exactly. Yes. And it's like, think about bushes. Each year, bushes and trees are getting new branches. So it's like expansion. Mm. And I feel like this year is going to be a lot about expansion. You are who you are. You have this around you. And now you're going to be bigger. Mm-hmm. Spread your wings, stretch your hands, grow more branches.
Right. Because it's number 9, right? This year is number 9. So it's, we can say letting go of the old, but also starting the new. So we really have to move forward. It's time to get to work, my people. We gotta move. We gotta make this planet a better place. And another thing, when you said, flowers, beautiful, it's like, pay attention. Do you see the beauty in the world? Do you notice those flowers, or is it always blah? Yeah. We have to see the beauty. We have to see the positivity. That's really important. That's helping us move. So like in winter, again, in winter, you're coming up with intention. Winter is the will. It's working with the will. So you're doing intention for the new. And then when spring comes, you're starting to create that.
Yes. Unfolding that.
Mhm.
Native wisdom teaches us to honor the earth, reawakening, and plant both physical and energetic seeds for the year ahead. So
Mm.
we thought about it, we put it on a paper, we talked about it, and now we are putting the seeds. We are planting, grounding our ideas and creating, allowing them to come into physical.
Mm.
And I found something interesting, and I'm not sure if you follow that, but element for this season is wood. It represents flexibility, expansion, and resilience.
Mhm.
Think
And like,
about those
yeah,
seeds they're sprouting out, how strong it has to be to go through the
so strong.
ground,
Plants are so strong. And when you think about the animals, all the animals in spring, they're having babies. It's time
right?
to birth.
I
It's a good
know.
time. Yeah. I'm not talking go have babies. I'm just saying birth new ideas.
Yeah.
This is when you feel good about yourself, when you're creating things, projects, when you're exercising your will, you're doing things that you came here to do. I saw this post recently. It was from my Reiki master. She was talking something about work. She said that, a lot of people think that our work is the job, but
Mhm.
no, work is the things that we came here to do as a soul, as a spirit. So that's our work. The job is something separate. So,
Mhm.
think about what you want to do. And spring is the time to start creating that, create
The
that movement. Um,
physical and emotional aspects of this season. So, what do we do in spring? Usually, we get into the motion, right? Everybody sign up for the gym for at least 3 months, right?
Summer's coming.
We gotta
I'm not
look
one
good
of
in
those people, but
bikini.
I know what you mean.
Yes.
Yes,
So we
it's about the movement, right? It's moving
right.
forward.
Detoxification, right? So we get into detox mode, we get into exercises, and we just feel the urge to do something fresh this year because it's the beginning and we got to do
Mhm.
something about it, right?
Like we were saying, moving forward. So when we are not moving forward, when we are feeling stagnant and stuck, it's all in our heads, right? So pay attention to your mindset, and if you're always analyzing things, if you're overthinking, if you're going back to something that happened, and you're constantly going back and going back and going back, and that's gonna also affect your digestive system. So we're gonna talk about some organs here, but it's all, moving forward is getting unstuck, right? So when you feel stuck and you overanalyze constantly, your digestive system is not working properly because you're not just digesting the events or the ideas or the past. And there's more to it. Funny thing is also when you overthink and analyze your time perspective is all messed up, as I'm gonna say, because it's like when you spend so much time on thinking over the same thing and analyzing the same thing, you're losing time because you're not being productive. You're thinking about things from the past. So I used to be a master at that. I used to think and overthink so much when I was younger. I couldn't fall asleep. But I taught myself to just, if there's an issue, I think about it once. I gotta think about it. So I gotta feel better. I'm gonna think about it.
And
Or I trick myself and I say, okay, I'm not gonna think about it today. I'm gonna think about it tomorrow in the morning.
then you
So
forget.
there's sometimes you forget because you're busy because you gotta do other things in the morning, but that's what I came up, that it gave me this peace of mind that I'm gonna still think about it. But I tricked myself and I didn't always think about it the next day. But I used to overthink a lot, and my digestive system was a mess. And I never had enough time for anything because I was always somewhere else, not in the now, but in the past or in the future.
Since we are talking about time, uh, we were talking before this, we started podcast about a retrograde.
Hmm.
And it was a fun time over the weekend. Um, it comes up that we both had a little meltdown.
Mhm. Yeah,
Due
retrograde.
to
Right,
time passing.
Mercury. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It was just so much. It made for me. It made thinking really hard. It made and I couldn't think. It was just too much for me. Like any and keeps and things kept on piling up, and I was just like, oh my God, it's Sunday, and I
Mhm.
wanted to rest today. And from the start, it's just one thing after another. I had to make a list and go down the list because it was really important stuff. But whoo,
Yes.
Mercury retrograde, people, pay
I
attention.
actually realized that there was that I actually saw for the first time one of the fears that I have and my reaction before something happens. This person is going to walk in and this is what's going to happen because it always happens this way. So you get defensive right away without even giving a chance that this person is going to do something different,
Mhm.
not allowing the flow. It just restriction and right away defensive.
Which kinda is right on a topic because the spring and the organs that we're going to talk about, which is liver and gallbladder, and that's the third chakra, which is the solar plexus, and I mean, there's many explanations. How I see it, it's the I do. So whatever I do in my life, in the world, and yes, that chakra is going to be affected if we get criticized, or if we could criticize ourselves.
Mhm.
So any things that have to do with that, like self-criticism and also self-respect. Like if you feel respected or if you don't respect yourself, that will also um affect and weaken this chakra. And that chakra, every chakra energizes the organs that are near it. So this would be the solar chakra for the gallbladder and the liver. And the emotion that affects this center is and I'm sorry, for the gallbladder, it's fear of repeating the past. It's like what you
Mhm.
said, right? It's like you're worried that something is gonna happen because it always happens the same way. So that's
Right.
actually the gallbladder,
Mhm.
just repeating the same thing over and over and over. And yeah, so the
Indecision,
emotions,
doubt,
yeah,
bitterness.
yeah. Yeah, and the emotions that help that gallbladder, help to strengthen it is courage. So, okay, something happened in the past, but this is gonna, I'm not repeating the past, I'm moving forward. Having courage to do it, having motivation to do the things that you like to do. Because let's say in the past, you were always criticized and people just prevented you from doing things. Because that's the truth. Like, we were doing whatever we were doing, we were prevented by all kinds of different things. And now it's so hard to move. And sometimes it's just so heavy. I used to carry that heavy, heavy, heavy feeling. It's getting lighter, but it's just like you said, your mind automatically goes into that program and you don't even notice it. Also doing being initiative, you know, for the gallbladder and making decisions and being brave. And what helps us remove that fear of the past being repeated is forgiveness. And here I wanted to point out to a podcast that we did a few months back. It was called The Magic of Acceptance. And in that episode, we talk about how important acceptance is, how you move through those things. And there's forgiveness mentioned in there as well. So yeah, I learned that whenever I do inner work, because we have friends and somebody sometimes says something to me and my brain does not click, then I know I
Mhm.
have a block. When your brain doesn't click, it's a block. When you don't get it, there's a block.
Or you are on different frequency.
Yeah. With me, it's always a block. It's just like, when somebody mentions something, I'm like, huh? Yeah. So then I will just stop myself and be like, okay, can you say it again? I gotta process what you're saying.
I
And
gotta
it takes me a
digest
little
it.
bit longer.
Right.
Yeah. I gotta sink in.
Liver meridian governs detoxification, planning, and visions.
Visions?
Visions, yeah,
Ooh.
like vision.
Wow. Yeah, liver has what, like 500 different functions. Liver is amazing.
Yeah, the
They
greatest
say
part of the
it's
body.
amazing. Yeah, they say that when your liver is off, you might experience headaches and digestive issues. Um, when it comes to emotions, the ones that I have, according to my sources that I work with, one of them is abstinent. I had to put that one in a dictionary because I wasn't sure what it meant. So it's being stubborn,
Mm.
stubborn.
Hmm.
Um, and I just wanted to add something to this because recently, me and my husband were talking about it, and sometimes in your life, you're trying to get somewhere, and you just have obstacles that come up, and and we were talking about this recently too. It's like we have our nature, you gotta do how nature says. And when it comes to us humans, we each have our own nature, which means our spirit, our soul comes here to do something. When your heart is called to do that and you're standing against it, thinking, oh, because it's physically I gotta do this, or materially I gotta take care of this like this, then you're being stubborn, you're standing against with yourself.
Mhm.
It's like this inner fight, and it's not going anywhere. And then you attract bad things because the universe is like, okay, your heart is calling for this, so I'm giving you this. But then you're like, oh, ego comes up. Oh, this is not what I, want to do, or what I can do, whatever that is. And then there's a conflict. For stubbornness, an oil is mountain savory. Another emotion is anger. Purification essential oil is for that. And anger is a very interesting and tricky one. Anger is something that eats up on you.
Mhm.
So let's say cancer is usually connected with to a lot of anger because it's eating up on you. And then when we're angry, it's always us being angry at ourselves for not doing something, or for regretting something. So there's all of that. And then violence, also essential oil purification. And violence, um, there's so many different things. Like, I'm not even talking about, people violently screaming at you, or like from the past being killed violently. But for women, a rape is a thing of violence. There's just so many different ways of having experienced violence in many ways.
Any abuse, right?
Any
Emotional, mental
abuse, yeah,
abuse.
yeah.
Yes.
So that will affect your liver.
Yeah. The for the emotional balance, because when we shift from one season to another, there is always a little bit of struggle. We come from the sleepy mode in a winter into bursting with energy and bursting with life in spring. I like to play with blends. I love blending oils, especially for this podcast. I put lemon, basil, and frankincense together. And for example, affirmation, I bring focus to within, release deception and false truth. My mind is clear. So lemon is for clarity, basil for renewal, and frankincense for truth. So like the example that I was bringing up with this old programming, to see the truth behind that, to gain clarity.
Lemon actually is a great oil, and I think it's one of the cheapest oils, and one for the most emotions oils. And it's for getting us unstuck when you put it to
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
forehead.
We do have cleansing rituals for spring. And I don't know about you, but my home spring was always opening the windows, washing the window window coverings, shades, or whatever it was. Um, it was always, and I loved that. I really did. Not I had to pull out everything from beautiful credenzas that in Poland we have, and it's all these wine glasses,
Oh
little
yeah.
glasses, teacups, everything.
I don't do that
Dust
stuff.
it, wash it, and put it in
I
for
think every
display.
mom had that, right?
Yes. Oh my God.
They loved it. It
That's
was their most prized possession.
absolutely, all the tchotchkes.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. So we do not only physical detox, emotional detox, we cleanse our houses. We do
Mhm.
smudging, like diffusing essential oils, and it's on a daily basis. That doesn't stop. But in spring, it's because the air is so fresh and so new outside. We open the windows and we let that fresh air in.
Mhm.
Smudging, I use Palo Santo stick, or I have sage that I have grown in my garden. So I use
Mhm.
that to cleanse the energy in a house, because through the winter that energy intend to get a little bit stagnant. And I don't know how you do it throughout the winter. I have some uh, singing bowls and koshi chimes. I do that, but nothing does it that good as that fresh air
Yeah.
outside in the springtime. So um, it's great. So the detox all around, cleansing and detox. And you were talking about movement. So um, yoga in the park, more walking outside,
Mhm.
because the
Yeah.
weather permits. The day gets longer, so we have more time.
Sometimes we go through some trauma in a certain season,
Mhm.
and it might not always be like gloomy season like winter. Like for me, let's say for me, fall was there's something that I went through during the fall. Whenever fall comes, I would always, and I think my mom finally pointed it out to me. She's like, whenever fall comes, you take on these crazy decisions. I mean, oh my gosh, how many jobs I quit in fall, and I broke up with my boyfriend, and I went to Poland for 2 months, and I
Oh my
just like,
gosh. Oh my
and I
gosh.
wasn't even aware of it. My mom, mentioned something, then I was like, there's something to it. So we have aware of that sometimes a season comes, not be the season, but something happened in the cold weather during the winter, during the snow, and that just triggers you, and it triggers something within you. And it's good to pay attention to those patterns and see what that is, and then you gotta release that. You gotta go with the season and realize what that is. But
Yeah.
seasons will trigger
Other
us.
things you can do is qigong for liver. So liver cleansing, breath work, tapping along the liver meridian, and your daily walks to connect with the nature, to observe the nature. And then again, watch yourself, how you walk through the season. Are you walking against yourself, or are you going with the flow? And
Right.
if there is any resistance building up within you.
Just work with that resistance if it comes, be brave, be courageous. Those are the emotions that lift the liver, and say yes. And slowly, slowly. It's we gotta remember that it's only fear that rises up, but nothing will happen to us. We won't
Mhm.
die again. We just have to be a yes and continue with this life. And it might take a while, but it's I'm an example of that. I used to have those energies. It was so hard. It was so hard to move. It was like I had my feet in a freaking concrete blacks and I couldn't move literally. And I had dreams like this too. I was trying to run over the street and I couldn't move my legs. And even when I was physically running, I would get into this state where I just couldn't move my legs. But we have to get over that. It's just that's what it is. You gotta push yourself, not too much. Don't do it too much. Be graceful, be respectful to yourself and your body, but just be aware and conscious of it and keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward day by day a little bit.
Right. When I was younger, the day was ending and I was going into the night. There was a lot more challenging for me to deal with my emotions. But in the morning, everything looked different. So if we are going through any sort of challenges, mental, emotional, whatever it is, mental and emotional, they go always together hand in hand. Write it down before bedtime and ask for solution. What's the first step? What should I do? Um, be open for whatever comes, listen, observe. Many times people come to you and you don't recognize that they are answer to your question. So pay attention to that too. The reflection. What new beginnings are calling you this season? Where in your life do you need more flow and flexibility?
Mm.
What past emotions or patterns are ready to be released? Kind of ask yourself those questions. And affirmation for spring: I embrace the new with trust and clarity. My body, mind, and spirit move in harmony with the season. As we are being observant, and we allow ourselves to see the truth, um, and we write it down and wait overnight to the morning. Don't make decision in evening when everything looks dark and ugly. Wait till morning and see, maybe the sunshine will bring something new, right?
Yeah. And you gotta have the new. I mean, without the new, life is boring and it's not fun. Nothing happens. So if you feel like I feel stuck, there's nothing in my life that makes me happy, it's time to bring that in.
Right. Yes.
It's
So
up to us.
this is our spring. That's how we move through it.
Yay!
So
We'll see
until
you
the
next
next time,
time.
have a great spring.
Have a great spring.